planner friends, how's it going? Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. My name is Ryan and this is A Man with the Plans, and I've been talking about this video since July and it's now September. So the long-awaited, without further ado, we're answering your questions. It's a Q&A and it's a face video. Oh my goodness. Let me just tell you, I am figuring out this whole like on-camera thing with my face, so just bear with me here. We'll figure it out. So I went ahead and compiled all the questions that you had written down and sent me, and I'm so thankful for all of you that submitted some questions. Some of them are really funny, and some of them are a little long-winded, so let's just go ahead and dive in because the answers to these are a bit long. So I'm going to cover some of the basics first, and you know what'll happen is if any other questions come up from this video that you have, leave them in the comment box below and I will answer them in another Q&A video. Just keep it rolling, right? Okay, couple of basics. First thing, my age, I am 27. 27, that's me. Where am I from? Originally New York. I grew up on Long Island. And my favorite food because of that is New York style pizza. I love Chicago and I love the Minnesota round square cut thing. New York style pizza is where it's at. Sorry about it. No arguments for me on who wins there. One of the questions I have is how do I organize my stickers? And the answer is in a binder. I'm staring at it off camera. It's just a plain green binder with those sheet protectors in there, and I have some facing each direction, the page protectors. To be quite honest, it's not really working at this point anymore. I required a bit much of a collection. So I'm thinking it's time for a revision to my sticker keeping process. I've looked at, I've watched Emily's video on Favorite Daughter Emily. I'll leave her linked up there. She did a sticker organization video that looked super cool, as well as Sarah Marie, her YouTube channel. She completely redid how she stores her stickers, and I'm a big fan. So I'm thinking in a couple weeks, once I'm in my new apartment, I might go ahead and commit to figuring out a new way to store my stickers. If you have any suggestions, throw them in that comment box below. I would really appreciate it. The next question, and this one, speak of the devil, is from Emily over at Favorite Daughter Emily, and she said, how did I start decorative planning? Good question. And I can't really tell you like how, well, I guess I can sum it up really quickly. I remember buying my first planner as an adult my last year of graduate school, and I thought I was so cool because I was color coding meetings and school and other social events in my planner with highlighter, and I would doodle and all this other stuff, and it felt really cathartic and nice to have my week planned out. I think it was one of those Blue Sky planners, actually. I loved the thing. I took it everywhere, and I thought I was the coolest, most organized person in the whole universe. I had seen my mom write everything down on a calendar as a kid, and her perfect handwriting, part of the reason why I strive to have really nice handwriting, having it all in one place is something that I envied. So I tried that. And then I was looking up all things Minnesota when I was planning to move out here, and I fell upon Emily's channel, and I was like, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. And so, because a couple of my friends had Erin Condrens at the time, and they were using them, but they weren't really decorative planning. And so I was like, what should I do? Should I get myself one? And so that year was Black Friday, so 2016. I went ahead and bought my first planner. And I have to say, if we'll do a flip through if you're interested, my planning style has really evolved since then. It's gone from like bare bones, me just drawing with marker and stuff like that, up to those full kits that we've been using. So it's been a fun sort of evolution to start that. But yeah, it sort of kind of just like happened by happenstance, and the funny part is that I still feel like I'm learning every single time that I open my planner up to do something different, whether it's a new washi tape or a new sticker, or I also appreciate you guys answer my questions. When I open up a grab bag and I'm like, what does this sheet do? And someone responds with, oh, it turns your hourly into a vertical or whatever it is, and I'm like, interesting. So I'm always learning, and I think that's one of my favorite parts of this community is that there's always something new to try or learn. So it's just been a blast so far, and I'm really appreciative of it. The next question is from Life's Organized Chaos. So, hey Jody, thanks for submitting this one. If you haven't checked out her channel, I will also leave it up in the card over there. And her question was, what made you decide to start a YouTube channel? I don't actually know like my thought process about this, but I remember watching Christopher Allen's channel, and he did his own planning videos, and I said there have to be more of us that are this organized and love to show all of our planning and budgeting and those things. And there were some guys in the budget community, but there weren't anyone else that at least I knew of that was in the like planner world. And so I kept, talking a good game, with my friends, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start one. I'm gonna do it. And one of my good friends was like, you should just do it already. And so one evening, I just out here in my living room decided to set up a little contraption and clip my iPhone to a butter knife over my planner, and the rest is history. And so I appreciate all of you that have watched and subscribed. I feel like we're creating a fun little community here, and it's great to be able to get to share my content with all of you. So it's kind of been a blast. And again, just like with planning, every time I make a video or I get a comment or something like that, it's just so much fun to engage with all of you and to learn. What do I do for work? Good question. I work for local government here in the state of Minnesota, and it's a wonderful job, and I'm really grateful for what I get to do every day. I feel like I'm helping people. I feel like I get to bring people together to have really good conversations, and I feel like it challenges me, and I have a great supervisor, and I have a great team that I work with, and so overall, like, I'm super lucky in that regard. It never really feels like work, and I think that's something that lots of people search for years, and I've already found it. So I'm super grateful in that regard too. Lots of gratitude pouring out today, huh? This question is related to my sinking fund video, and it was, do I separate my sinking funds in my bank in like separate accounts? And if so, or do I just leave it all lumped together? So this is like a two-part question. For those of you that are following the Dave Ramsey plan, the $1,000 emergency fund I keep in my savings. It's in the same bank as my checking, but just in my savings. And it also has that keep the change transfer thing, so it tends to just accrue up a little bit, and at some point when it hits a level, I'll just move it back over. The other thing though is my sinking fund is a separate bank. I use Capital One 360. They have online interest-bearing checking accounts and savings accounts, and you can actually delineate out each separate sinking fund that way, and you can manage them this way. For me, I like the way that's set up that way, and it worked out really well, and I can just transfer it right to my bank account, and it's no big deal. And that's how I do it. I know of lots of people that actually have their sinking funds either in cash envelopes, in their house, like in their physical cash form, which is the most liquid it could be, could be convenient. But for me, I don't mind. It's a simple, I have the app on my phone and I just transfer it over. That's what I did with my, if you saw my video for my budget in August, when my car needed all that maintenance done, I went ahead and just transferred it over, swiped my debit card, and I didn't even wince at the bill because I was like, we've prepped for this, we're good to go. So our last question is all about what is my morning routine. Now, I think this will take a longer video to go into detail, but essentially it's all based on this book, which the original one is in my room at the moment, but this is Miracle Morning Millionaires. And the Miracle Morning itself is sort of like a 5-step process that Hal Elrod wrote. Time to get a sip of my water. Right, Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod, great. This book was written by Hal Elrod, and I will leave it down in the description box below if you're curious. And essentially, it's a way to think about and get all of the things that are going to help you live, and he calls it the level 10 success in all areas of your life, by waking up earlier than you normally would and spending an hour doing these things that he calls the savers, and that's S-A-V-E-R-S. Right? Yeah, okay. And so S is for silence, right? So meditation, 5 to 10 minutes at most to start with. It can be challenging, but I do feel a difference. The next is affirmations. So if you watch my notes pages video, those affirmations in there, that's what I read back to myself twice a day out loud to start with. The V is visualization, and that's all about closing your eyes and thinking about how being successful either in that moment today or that meeting or your workout or even a longer term goal would feel. How would it feel to have that car, or how would it feel to have that boat that you want on that lake, or whatever it is, and think about like, how would you feel? What would you say to whoever was on it with you, and those things, and kind of creating a scene in your mind. It's really fun to wrap your head around, and obviously he does a better job of explaining it in here, just saying. The E is exercise, which I do at the end, but it can be a variety of things. Going for a walk, I usually go for a run. I know people that do yoga, Pilates, or throw in a workout tape on demand. The R is reading, so picking a personal development book at any moment. If you want, I have my list of books that I am reading in my notes pages in that video as well. And making sure that you're reading for at least like 10-15 minutes a day. And then the final S is for scribing, but really just like writing in a journal. So I have a little, I wouldn't call it a bullet journal, but it's by Leak Term. I can't even pronounce that. But one of those notebooks that is write the date in, and sometimes it can be, you know, the 5 things I'm grateful for that morning, or me just talking about my day, or talking about my progress on my goals. It can really be whatever you want it to be, which is, I think, the coolest part, is it's super flexible. So that, in and of a nutshell, is my morning routine. Well, that's all the questions I had for this round. Thank you so much for watching. It's always fun to throw a video out, especially one that I'm like filming it this way. It's kind of nifty. I make new videos every Monday and every Thursday, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click that subscribe button, and you know how to find me on Instagram and Facebook at A Man With The Plans. Thanks so much, planner friends. See you later. Bye.